Hello friends, welcome to Dezinlife. Friends, we have been talking about COVID impact in the pharmaceutical industry and it's a different therapeutic segment in last 1 year. And reason of talking about last 1 year is that in last 1 year, it is exact 12 month when the lockdown was started in India. It was in somewhere in around 20th of March. So March was the first month impacted by the COVID. And now we have got the February 2021 data also. So we have precisely 12-month COVID impacted data of the pharma industry. So today we will be talking about two such segments which are the least impacted segment by the COVID. And when I say least affected segment is the cardiac and the diabetic segment. So today we'll talk about these two segments. We'll be taking help of the AIOCD as well as IQVIA, both the data. And we'll be comparing that also. We'll see the trend also and what future hold for us. So first let us look at cardiac segment data. As per the AIOCD, the cardiac segment 1 year back, that is May February 2020, was 17,927 crore and which was growing at 11%. Now in last 1 year, that is by February, May 2021, it has grown to 20,304 crores with a growth of 12.5%. This means in last 1 year, as per the AIOCD, cardiac segment has grown more than it was growing earlier. So what earlier growth was 11% and now it is growing by 12.5%. So despite COVID, cardiac segment growth is even better. Well, same thing when we confirm from the IQVIA data. 1 year back, cardiac segment was 17,689 crores in May February 2020. And it was growing by again 11% there also. This has increased to 20,127 crores with a growth of 13.8% in May February 2021. So here growth has increased from 11% to 13.8%. So by as per IQVIA also the growth has increased. So as per both the agency data, growth of the cardiac segment is better than what it was 1 year back. So this because of COVID, we can say because of COVID, cardiac segment has done better. Or you can say this is probably the only segment which has gained as compared to its previous tally during the COVID impact. So COVID impact we can summarize is better for the cardiac segment. When you look at say cardiac segment before more conclusion, in last 12 month progression month after month, in your screen you can see the data from AIOCD as well as IQVIA data. In every month right from the month 1, that is February, it start growing better than the IPM. In the initial month, growth was almost 19-20%. It was because people start stocking more because of the continuing the lockdown fear and all. But after that, growth is slightly come down in the month of April and May because new patients were not there and many shops were also closed. But after then, it start growing in a very big way. And that's why we can say in last 1 year, cardiac segment has performed much better than it used to perform earlier. So what is the reason? So first reason you can say initial month, can say initial stock for the month of March, but after that, or you can say precisely after April and May, June onward, it is one is self-medication which is helping the cardiac patient. Then most of the cardiac doctors or the physician who are seeing the cardiac patient, they are attending their patient either on the telephone or the online consultation, and many cases they are asking them to continue medication. Third factor is that most of the cardiac patients, whether hypertension or so, they themselves don't know that we have to take it long-term point of view. So they are continuing their own medication even without consulting doctors also. So this continued therapy has further helped cardiac segment. But one of the brighter side is the future point of view. Or you can say, even if I assume these two cases, simply continuing therapy or simply doctor taking consultation on telephone and all that, even then we could have feel that it is almost same value. But here we are seeing the growth. Probably in the COVID impact, the more cardiac disease has been there, more people has got the chances of blood pressure or so. So overall, COVID has positively impacted cardiac disease, and which is likely to continue because now we are talking about the second wave of the COVID. So if I look at say next month, next 6 months, or next 1 year point of view, again we are going to see the good growth in the cardiac segment. Even for example, if I look at simply last 3 months, IQVIA suggests last 3 months 19%, 12% and 9%. So average we can take around 13% kind of growth. And same thing if I look at say AICD data last 3 months, it's 14.9, 8.8 and 7.3. Average we can take out say around 10%. So growth has to be bound to be in the double digit. So cardiac has been the very gainer segment in last 1 year because of COVID, and probably this is the only segment which has gained apart from obviously vaccines, or you can say HIV kind of drug which is repurposed for the COVID. Otherwise, the major segment cardiac is the only segment which has gained. Another interesting fact we find in the inventory level. So 1 year back, the inventory level of the cardiac segment was 38 days. Now after 1 year also, the inventory remain at 38 days, means no change. So for the cardiac segment, one is it has not affected anything negatively COVID, and secondly it has even affected even positively also. So overall good for the cardiac companies. So today's second segment we'll talk about diabetic. In the diabetic segment, if you look at the AICD data, 1 year back it was 13,850 crores in mid-February 2020, and it was growing at 11%. And this is further grown to by 7.1%, and it become 14,932 crores in mid-February 2021. So you can say growth has come down from 11% to 7.1%. Suppose diabetic segment also would have continued to grow by same 11%. So by now, diabetic segment would have become 15,374 crores. This means we lost around 442 crores in this segment last 1 year, plus compounding loss. The same data when we look at from IQVIA point of view, anti-diabetic segment 1 year back was 14,245 crores, which was growing by 11.6%. And here in last 1 year it has grown by 9.6% and grown up to 15,875 crores. So same when we look at say what we lost in the diabetic segment because of low growth is again almost say 22 crores. So both the data, one side to 442 crores loss, this side 22 crores loss, averagely we can say around 200 crores or so we lost in the diabetic segment in last 1 year because of COVID. So very marginal loss or very less loss. So where one side cardiac segment has gained, diabetic segment we lost but not much. In the diabetic segment, when we look at say last 12-month progression, how the last 12 months has progressed in the diabetic segment month to month basis, that is growth. So from the month of March, the growth was high 14% as per the IQVIA and 18.2% as per AICD, which means a bulk purchase because of COVID, you can say push, or you can say COVID lockdown fear. After that, growth has come down maybe 6.5%, 1.1 April, May because of lockdown, but after that it keep on growing. So if you look at all the 12 months in both the data, the growth of the diabetic segment has been more than the IPM. Trend of this growth has been more or less along with the IPM growth trend, but it is always more than the IPM growth. Now question is, when the cardiac and diabetic both segment goes together, how come the cardiac segment is growing better, even better than their previously, and diabetic is slightly lesser? The region of the good growth remain both same, that is whether initial stocking, whether self-medication, online consultation, because doctors are almost similar. The one difference I find is that in the diabetic cases, you have to detect diabetes, you have to go to blood test or pathology, the diabetes there or not. Probably those detection has been less, while in the case of cardiology, whether detection of a hypertension or something which is comparatively easy. So in the case of cardiology, hypertension detection is easy, or maybe some or coronary disease detection is easy. Here you have to go to pathology and do the blood test. Probably those detection in diabetes has been less. Diabetes has a direct relationship with the stress level or the pressure people are living with. So if you look at the way people are living, diabetic segment would have grown even better. So there is a message for the diabetic companies that they should focus more on the detection in next 1 year or so, and they can get many more patients suffering from diabetic disease. Because if you look at the problem, diabetes would have increased more than the cardiac in last 1 year. But because problem of non-detection, it has data is not showing that way. But still, there is not much difference what diabetic segment was growing 1 year back and what it is growing now. Before concluding, if I simply look at the inventory level, 1 year back anti-diabetic products inventory level was 34 days and now reduced to 33 days, which means liquidation is faster and stock level is comparatively less. So we can say in the coming 1 year, one is because of more detection of the diabetes, and second the way because growth is increasing, diabetic segment will see better growth. And I can look at say next 1 year, diabetic segment will show growth the way cardiac segment has grown in last 1 year. The growth will be much better than the past, and I'm looking at say double-digit growth for diabetic segment also in next 1 year. So diabetic and cardiac are two segments which are very happy space in last 1 year, where pharma industry is crying, or you can say is talking about loss. Here it is, they are growing and gaining momentum in the place. I hope this analysis will be useful to you for all the cardiac or diabetic company, and they must be happy about their outcome if what has been last 1 year and next 1 year also going to be promising to them. Thank you very much.